Here we go. So I did a couple of things before I even started streaming. I noticed that my shader for the ground, the diffuse was like being canceled out, and it was because I actually had in here, I had this set to as a mix shader, and I actually realized that it was kind of canceling out my diffuse here in order to get that like nice rich lighting with like shadows and things like that. And so I swapped it out for a multiply, and I plugged in the alpha of the diffuse into the factor right here, and we got a nice blend here. So if I go to solid, or if I go to material preview, you can still see my texture. You can still see that there's like tons of like nice mossy, you know, ground texture, but now there's actual shadows, and that's what I was missing. I was missing all the shadows, and I was like, where are my shadows? I don't know why my shadows aren't showing up, and now they're there. Now they look good. So now if I go to rendered here, you have like this really cool volumetric look and feel. It just looks awesome. You know, like we're gonna be able to do a lot of cool stuff here with lights. And I also added lights to these right here on the bottom of the stairwells. We have these lights right here. You know what I want to do is we need to make an array chain link. We need to make chain links using an array. I think that's what we need to do. So let's do that real quick, just while it's on my mind before I get sidetracked on what some other detail that I need to include. All right, so I guess we'll use a cylinder, and let's bring down the vertices to, yeah, there we go. 7 vertices is great. We're gonna open up the faces, hit all, duplicate. These are now one object here, right? Shift click this ring and this ring, right click, and we're gonna say bridge edge loops. Okay, that's enough right there. And then we'll do the same thing here. So we click this and we click this, and we say array on this guy right here, and we set this to curve, and we say chain link, boom, like that. And then we definitely need it to be set by distance. There we go. You're the best.
I hope you like it.
I'm so excited. Thank you.
I want to try it.
Does it have olives on it?
Yes.
That's so smart. This looks so good. This is really well made. Wow. It's like really well baked.
Well, I love you. There's another half in there.
Thank you. That's so good. Thank you. Wife brought me flatbread. Basically a cheeseless pizza. Why is it all janked? I don't know why it's all janked. Yeah, we're gonna have to fix all that. The geometry's all janked in there. I don't know why those kind of things happen. Just you know, just stuff happens in Blender that you're like, how did this happen? And you don't know. There's no explanation for it. It just mysteriously happens. Okay, that's cleaned up as far as I can tell. And then we're gonna duplicate this and link this to 6. Okay, and we're going to grab this one, and we're going to shift duplicate. Yeah, okay, and it automatically updated. Good, good. Okay, this is really coming together. Okay, there needs to be some sort of tower here, right? Like maybe one of more of these or something like that. Yeah, something like that is kind of cool. It does mean we have to move everything down, because right now it's sticking out of the water. We've made the palace so big that the palace is now sticking out of the water. We have to populate this whole area with these guys. Let's make a new collection. Let's call it Spirits. Put our Spirit referent in there, because I already have that ready. All right. Now, we need a domain. We need a domain. So let's add a cube. Okay. They can be just floating in and around these 4 planes right here. Let's go ahead and apply all transforms. Okay. And let's make sure that we set the origin to geometry. There we go. Okay. Let's hide it and let's rename it. We're gonna call it Spirit Domain. There we go. Now we need an emitter. So let's add a plane right here. And this will be our emission system. Let's go ahead and apply all transforms. Set origin to geometry. Let's open up our spirit domain. Let's say Shift S, cursor to selected, and then take our plane. We're gonna call it Spirit Emitter, right? Okay, and then we're gonna say Shift S, selection to cursor. All right. So that's like directly in the center of our domain. That should help. I think that should help. So now let's go to our geometry node editor. Let's go to modifiers. Let's add a geometry node modifier. Okay, and then we're going to add a new geometry node system called spirits. All right. Now, let's go ahead and start with a distribute points on faces. And let's go ahead and delete the group input because that's the group input right here is wrong. We don't want the points to be right here, right? So let's delete that and let's add a object info. And our object is going to be the domain right here. And then we're going to plug the geometry into the mesh. And there we go. Now we have, you know, 1,000,000 points plugged into here, which is fine. But now we need to add an instances on points. This is where the magic happens. And also, let's turn down the density. The density is on 10 right now. Let's turn it down to like 1, just to calm it all down. Okay, and now we need to add a collection info. Okay, and we're gonna plug that into instances, and we're gonna our referent is going to be the spirit referent. Boom. Okay, we need to adjust the position. So we're gonna run this through a set position right here, and then we need a random value node right here, and we're gonna plug the value into the offset. And then I think if I just turn up the max like this and pull down the minimum, yeah, now they're offset in all of their positions, right? And we need this random value node to be run through another random value node. There we go. Okay, and then we need them to move over time. So we're going to add a seconds like this, and we're going to run the seconds through a math node. Let's see if we even like this. I don't even know if I like this. They kind of don't have the effect I was hoping they'd have. We might be able to get this to be cooler. Let's see here. Okay, I have an idea. I think I want to do something different. They look like little tears now. They look like little teardrops. I love that. Okay, so we need a combine XYZ. Okay, vector math add. Okay. Okay, random value. There we go. Go to a negative value. There we go. Okay. Okay, floored modulo. Okay, I got the distance right, but now we just need to compensate the coordinates. Okay, let's see what that looks like. I think I finally got it. Goodness gracious. Let's see here. I do not finally have it. I thought I finally had it. I do not. At all. I'll figure more out tomorrow. This is crazy.